Imagine two people are arguing, a husband and a wife, or we can say two siblings, or we can say two friends, or we can say two colleagues. Both believe they are right, both wants to win. But what if the real problem is not the disagreement itself? What if the problem is the way we have been taught to think about conflict? Most of us grow up believing that conflicts have only two outcomes: either I win or you lose, or you win, I lose. Psychologists discover something fascinating. Many conflicts are actually battles to be won. They are opportunities to create solution where everyone benefits. Today we will explore the psychology behind the conflict, the concept of win-win solutions, Kurt Levine's field theory, and Morton Doek's groundbreaking work on conflict resolution. Stay till the end because understanding these concepts can completely change the way you have handled disagreements in relationships, families, workplaces, or even within yourself. Now, let us first understand what is adversarial system. Let us start with a simple question. What happens when people enter a conflict? Most people automatically enter what psychologists called an adversary system, or we can say adversary mindset. In this mindset, a person thinks, I am right, you are wrong, my success depends upon your failure, my goal is to defeat the other side. This thinking is common everywhere, whether they are political debates, family arguments, workplace disputes, divorce cases, social media discussions. So, adversary system turns conflict into a competition. Instead of solving the problem together, people focus on defeating each other. As a result, communication breaks down, trust decreases, anger increases, and the real tragedy is that sometimes both parties lose. Think about a couple arguing over household responsibilities. After shouting, one partner wins the argument. But what if the relationship becomes damaged? Did anyone really win? Probably not. This is why psychologists begin searching for better approaches. Now, let us understand the concept of win win. For the very past few days, we were talking about the win win solutions. So, let us talk about it in detail. The goal of modern conflict resolution is not simply compromise, it is finding a genuine win win solution. Many people misunderstand what win win. People think win-win means everyone gets half. Not necessarily people's important needs are satisfied. Let's understand with an example. There are two sisters who want the same orange. They are having only one orange. So what can be the solution? Either we can cut the orange into two halves and we will give to each other. Each one seems fair, right? But what if the one sister wants the peel for baking and another one wants the fruit? So now both can get 100% of what they want. That is win-win. The solution emerged when we explored underlying needs instead of fighting over positions. Here position is what? I want the orange. And what is the need? I need the peel or I need the fruit. Most conflicts become difficult because people argue about positions while ignoring the needs. Now let us understand Curtin's Levine's field theory. To understand why people behave differently in conflicts, we need to understand Kurt Levine's. He was one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. He developed field theory. According to Levine, human behavior is influenced by the psychological field around us. He called this is our life space, which includes thoughts, feelings, goals, environment. In simple words, people don't react in reality itself, they react to how they perceive in conflicts. Imagine two colleagues. One receives feedback from a manager. The first colleague sees feedback as an opportunity for growth, and the second one sees it as a criticism and rejection. Same event, different reactions. Why? Because each person exists within a different psychological field. According to Levine, behavior is equal to person plus environment. This means we can't understand conflict by looking only at behavior. We must understand the psychological forces influencing that behavior. Now let us understand forces within the psychological field. Levine believed that life space contains forces. Some forces pull us towards goals and some forces push us away from our goals. For example, a student wants to study. Here, what is the pulling force? Desire for success. And what is the pushing force? Distractions and laziness. So, conflict occurs when different forces collide. In relationships, these forces might include need for independence, need for closeness, fear of rejection, desire for control, need for validation. Now, understanding these forces help us understand why people behave the way they do. Instead of asking what's wrong with them, we ask what forces are influencing this person's behavior. This creates empathy and reduces hostility. Now let us understand peoples as allies or obstacles. Levine's theory suggests something profound. In our psychological field, other people can perceived as either allies or obstacles. When we see someone as an ally, cooperation increases, communication improves, trust develops. When we see someone as an obstacle, defensiveness increases, suspicion grows, conflict escalates. Thus, think about workplace conflict. If you believe your colleague is trying to help, for example, if you believe that colleague is trying to help the team, interpret their actions positively, and if you believe they are trying to undermine you, the exact same behavior appears threatening. Perception changes everything. Morton Doig and conflict resolution. Building on Levine's work, psychologist Morton Doig Doig asked an important question: what determines whether conflicts become destructive or constructive? His answer was simple: the type of relationship between the goals of the people involved. He discovered two major forms of interaction: competitive and cooperative. Competitive conflict. In competitive situations, my success depends on your failure. For example, one promotion available, one winner in a race, limited resources. People become focused on self-protection. Common characteristics include distrust, hostility, increases aggression. Doig found that competition often creates more conflict than necessary. People become less willing to share information. They interpret neutral actions as threats. Small disagreements becomes major battles. Now let us understand what is cooperative conflict. In cooperative situations, my success helps your success helps mine success. Examples include healthy marriages, effective teams, successful communities. Characteristics include trust, open communication, mutual respect, problem solving, creativity. People search for solutions rather than victories. The focus shifts from who is right to what will solve the problem. This is the foundation of win-win thinking. I'm going to repeat this again. The focus shifts from who is right to what will solve the problem. This is the foundation of win-win thinking. Now let us understand four possible outcomes of a conflict. Morton Doig described four major outcomes. Number one is win-lose. One person wins, another loses. For example, a manager imposes a decision without considering employee. Short-term victory, long-term resentment. Lose-win. One person sacrifices their needs, other gets what they want. This is very common in people pleasers. This often leads to frustration and emotional exhaustion. Number three is when lose-lose. Both sides suffer. For example, a couple refuses to compromise. The relation deteriorates. Nobody gets what they wanted. Now, last one is win-win. Both parties satisfy their important needs. Trust increases. Relationship strengthens. The problem gets solved. This is ideal outcome. Now, let us try to understand what are the various practical steps which create win-win solutions. When conflict occurs, number one, what first you have to do, separate the position from needs. What does other person really need? What do I really need? So listen before defending. Most people listen to reply, but listen to understand. Number three is identify the common goals. Find shared interest. For example, peace in the family, success at work, and healthy relationships. Number four, brainstorm multiple solutions. Go for multiple solutions. Opt for the appropriate one. Don't stop at the first solution itself. Generate options together. Focus on the problem, not the person. Attack the problem, never attack the person. Now, what is the conclusion of this discussion? Kurt Lewin taught us that behavior is shaped by the psychological field in which people live, whereas Morton Doig showed us that conflict become destructive or constructive depending on how we approach them. The biggest lesson is this: conflict is not enemy. The adversarial mindset is when we stop seeing others as opponents and start seeing them as partners in problem solving. Conflicts become opportunities for growth, understanding, and stronger relationships. The goal is not to win against people, the goal is to win the people. Win with people. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment, please. Comment and share as much as possible, and don't forget to follow. And remember, the strongest relationships are not those without conflict. They are the ones where people learn how to resolve conflict together. Thanks for listening and watching.